All right, everyone, welcome back to the day 2 for our 6-week QA SDET training program. So a lot of topics for us to cover, and we're going to go through them very, very coolly, team. Because in today's world, in the industry, they're expecting a lot of things from us. I'm not saying that we'll become a master at all of those things. You will definitely be decent, much above average on all of these, and you will go deep into certain areas like frameworks, element identification, CI/CD, and so on. When it comes to manual testing per se itself, team, not too much, but there are a few things that we will do. And lot of things that we want to do, we'll try and keep them as part of tools or a project. So it'll be easy for us to learn as well. So there were 3 or 4 questions, team, members were asking. Let me quickly look at those questions once again. First, you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. That's how you'll, if there are any content that we're putting there. Second, content is also there on go.itlearn.com. Our go.itlearn.com, the first course that we have there is for the QA SDET, November 2020. So click on that, and the first few videos will be free. As we go along after day 3, only for the members, I'll be putting up there. Now, regarding the pricing of team, again, back on go.itl, let me explain to you how this works. Primarily, there's a free membership which has few courses. Everyone is currently free. There's a premium membership which has lot of trainings into it. Then there is a JPAC membership, which is job placement and certified training, where you have access to everything that we do. Apart from the courses, there are more live projects, interview preparations, mock interviews, whatever activities are going on there is also part of it. Then we have a lifetime access to the content. Now, these are the prices for it. Apart from this, specifically for this course, I'm going to put in a price as well. So you'll have 3 options, okay, to choose from. And you can make your call by tomorrow, day after, team. After that, we'll continue with the members. YouTube chat, put it in the chat, please. Okay, and explore in terms of what these courses are. Bundle of 41 courses and 61 courses. So when you go to all courses and look at category and look at JPAC live projects, all these are apart from the premium. So a lot of live projects that we do will be part of JPAC membership. Okay, and then you can pay specifically for this training alone, this batch. All right. So having said that, now let's get started, everyone. I don't want to waste much of it. And when would class start in the sense? Let me take this question. What is your question to me? I did not understand. When would class start? Testing class. What does that mean? And team, I'm very, very precise when it comes to communication and how you interact with me. I expect a lot of good English, a lot of good grammar, and apt questions to me. Okay, I look at and assess people based on what they're asking, how smartly you're able to do certain things. So I didn't understand what the question was. When would class start? Testing class. I didn't understand. I am mostly looking Selenium with Java training only. Can you assist? Now that's again another strange question. Did some of you only join today's session and not yesterday's? Okay. Now, if you want to learn Selenium with Java, then there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 things. All right. That is covered out here. How about the remaining topics? Who is supposed to learn them or do the job on that? How do you expect to get a job just by QA or just by Selenium? Take that off your mind, focus on the course that I'm doing and stay tuned with it. Is that clear, everyone? Can I get a yes so that I can go ahead and proceed with the discussion, the specific one? Okay, and any more questions that you have, think about it nicely, keep it written, wait for the Q&A. Let's get started, please. I don't want to deviate. Any other course that you want that you don't see here, look under the go.it learn courses or write to us. There is a series of courses that will come up. Right now, this is the course. All right. So enough said. Let me focus on all the students who are waiting for the training itself. Now, the first and foremost thing, team, when we talk about all of these, we go to a journey where we talk about applications. And we know that these are software applications. They're built for web, they're built for mobile, or sometimes there are APIs that happen in between different applications, team. So now, why does an application come into place? Please, team, no more other questions about payment options and so on. It is very, very disturbing when the live class is going. Please keep your questions away from me unless that is relevant. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, where do applications come from, team? What is the source for it? Most important that you need to focus or note is the journey for an application itself, team. And a lot of you might be knowing, but let's just kind of re-talk about it, what we are saying. So there is always some kind of a pain. Okay, this is not a free drawing. Where do I get brushes? Okay. There's always some kind of a pain that someone is feeling. And that pain basically says that I don't want A, I don't want B, I want C. Now, can someone tell me what this is? So when we say pain, it's not just a pain for a person, a human. It can be a pain for a company. It's not just a health one. Let us say that I am having an issue or a pain or a challenge, okay, to communicate with someone who does not have the same in the same country and so on. So then we know applications like WhatsApp, we know applications like Facebook, we know applications like Google. What is it that they do for us? We know applications like PayPal. Why did PayPal come into place? And we're going to talk about and take a few sample applications. Couple of them that I will choose, team. One will be SFDC, that is Salesforce.com as a sample one, and so on. Now, let us think about this, team. When we say that, let us say WhatsApp, for example. What is it that you want in WhatsApp? A means I want to be able to chat with someone, okay, using text. B means I want to be able to do a telephonic call with someone. C means that if that is basically I don't want C is no cost. It should be free for us. Now that becomes something called as a, what are these things, team? Can anyone tell me what is A that is saying that let's focus on chat option? B, let's focus on a talk option. C, let's focus on and we should not have a paid option. It should be free for us. Exactly. Those are the right answers. Anyone else before I tell you what they may be? What are these A, B, and C? Very nice, team. So they're not the source. There are either you can call them as requirements or features. They become more clearer, they're defined, and we can talk about them. So it always starts with the pain, then it becomes a requirement or features. Why? There is some clarity out here. There is certain amount of documentation that we will do. And then you can put up a plan. What comes in a plan, team? Okay, great. We are 3, 4 young people sitting down in a garage trying to come up with these options. Now, what happens next? I put requirements or features and I said, okay, there's a document of how chat should happen. There's a document of how talk should happen. There's a document of how it can be made free. Now, so what are these? Documentation. A lot that we're doing with documentation. So we're specifying those requirements in length. Now, what is a plan? Can someone tell me what might go into a plan? Anyone, team? What might we do with the plan? Because we have a pain, we're putting some requirements or features that will help us to resolve that pain or challenge. What could be the next step? Very nice. Tell me. Prioritizing steps. Very nice. Yes. Scope or approach. So, okay, right. Let's not talk about test plan. This is not testing, team. We're talking about anything in general, development. We're talking about making, building, producing, manufacturing. Could be software. Schedule. Very nice word, Sahana. We need to put up a schedule. And then, yes, we will then come to execution. That's later. Okay. Or implementation. Let's keep it to execution for now. What else will come here in a plan? So let us say you want to build a bridge. What all will come into building a bridge, team? Sure, you need a design for it. You need an estimation as to what estimations do you need? Cost, okay. Any other estimation that we need to give, team? Time, very nice. See how we are able to think through those things ourselves. We need to give a cost, we need to give a time. What are the other things that we will require for planning? Manpower, very nice. Or I'll say human power, just to be more even. Human power. What else? Hardware or resources. Excellent, team. So based on this, I'll be able to come up with the overall estimation. What was PS? Can someone remember telling me? What was PS? That was one of the first things someone mentioned. So many priority steps. Yeah, prioritizing the steps. So now you know when we come to execute, you have the actual steps of execution. Okay, so you will follow those steps and then you will do some kind of implementation. And then what would we do, team? Implementation is basically building that. After implementing or building, constructing that bridge, what do you do next? Will we send the vehicles to go onto the bridge? Yes or no? Exactly. We need to test that. We need to verify, validate, check. What are the things that we will test on the bridge? We will test to see what? If the bridge can hold capacity like weight, if it can hold maybe resonance frequencies, and I don't know how to put it. Strength, yes. What else do we want to test it on? Load, capacity, strength, correct? We're talking about a bridge here. Whether, yeah, reliability, stability, sure. There's a lot that we need to check on, right? But do we also need to check? I can build everything like this. Okay, now see, I'll build something that is strong, which will take stress, weatherproof, reliable, stable, secure. but I'll make it as a solid beam of wood or iron. Can cars walk on it? Or not? Can humans walk on it or cars run on it? Team? No, until you also make sure that they're functionally viable. The basic functionality of it has to work. A bridge is built to act like a bridge. It is not a home, correct? So you need to make sure that it is wide enough for the cars to go in. It does have a walk path for the pedestrians and so many other things that we need to do. Once we do the testing and then we certify and say go or no go, then what would we do, team? We would launch or deploy or start using the bridge or open the bridge, a grand inauguration launch. So that is the life cycle. Do we all understand what I'm saying, team? Be it WhatsApp or a bridge, this is what we have to do. Okay, so that is why you see projects start very, very slow at the beginning and then slowly pick up speed, and they get into very busy status towards the end. And that flow is important, team. So personally, we talk about a pain. We say that I don't want certain things, I want certain things. We mention what we have. Then we're talking about a requirement or feature where we're specifying, starting to document. Then we have a plan. In a plan, we're coming up with estimation, number of people, resources. What else did we talk about? So many other things that come into that, correct? And then we spoke about execution or implementation, build. And here we have to do the execution, test, and deploy that bridge or the application for everyone to use. Now, here is a simple thing, team. Out here in this entire complexity of world, we are so focused on this specific portion. Okay, everyone. Now, what happened is it is okay to say QA testing as is about 10 years ago because we were working as an independent department. Now, in today's world, this entire thing is working around three things, team. One, they've gone away from waterfall model where we have large chunks of projects spread over many months. Okay. Two, where we have smaller, faster deliverables. Now, there are a lot of advantages to agile. Why agile and so on, like customer feedback, customer centricity. We'll try and go through some of these very specific terms that we need to use about it. But we have moved from waterfall to agile team. So what this means is while we are waiting for our QA and testing to be done, a lot is being done parallelly as well. So earlier we used to wait for our opportunity when we can test. But now there is a lot of preparation and planning and initial testing that goes on even before. So we'll talk a lot about agile and what is Scrum or Kanban. Okay, we'll talk about that. Now, to get anywhere, we need a AUT. What is an AUT, team? So he said for any application, here is the flow, that this is what is going to happen. What is an AUT, anyone? So DevOps comes into, so CI/CD is a continuous chain of being able to provide releases where this is my version 1.0. I'll come up with 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, each with different features, and that becomes more next ones. So DevOps is development operations, basically. So when we have this especially with the servers, cloud, infrastructure, how does the entire operation work? So when we're talking about DevOps and QA, you will know that we are now a strong, how do we say this, team? A core part of a smaller agile team. How will be agile teams? Agile teams are somewhere between 6 people in each, and they do only sprint releases, we call, and they last usually between 1 to 2 weeks. Want to spend 6 weeks on the project and come to know that the world has gone into a different direction. The world moves fast as well, correct? So we need a lot of focus on that. Yeah, AUT is application under test. Now, this gives us a certain aspects of doing what parts of it. Now, who does feel the pain? Can you tell me the people roles based on who is doing here each of these activities? Pain. Who's feeling the pain? I'm is team. Can you talk to me? Not getting anything in that. Hello. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Now I can. I think there was a momentary network outage. Hopefully you can hear me fine, right? Correct? Okay, great. So now I see. Is my voice okay, everyone? Yes. Okay, great. So pain, who feels the pain? You're right. The client or the customer, the one who kind of pays for the solution at the end of it. They're also usually the ones who pay us. Pays or payers. Okay. Who are the people who make a requirement or a feature? It can be a product owner or what we call as a PM project or manager. Client also may be able to provide some documentations, right, everyone? And now, when it comes to planning, I don't think a user will evolve into a planning exercise. Usually it is always the sprint team along with PM, team, and who does the build? Developers. Then you have your QA team, and then you have your CI/CD or DevOps team. They manage that entire deployment. So that comes your overall cycle. All right. So that's as simple as it is, team, for us. Let's now talk about Salesforce.com. So how many of you have experienced Salesforce or know what does that do? What is team? Anyone? Its short form is SFDC. You want to speak about it, Ramya? Anyone wants to speak about it? You can raise your hand. Where are the attendees? Where are the hands? Let me see. I see Umesh, Naresh, you have your hands raised. Okay, Nazima.
Hi. I come to know that Salesforce is a cloud platform where the company can customize their own needs. It's a cloud database uh, to uh, to customize according to their own needs. Say, for example, it's a CRM, customer relationship management, right? As for my
Mhm.
understanding.
Yes, it is. Right. Thank you. And it's code-based solution. It is a CRM, and it has also got a lot to do with um, workflow automation, what we can call as. So where we can build a corporate workflow as part of how the team is behaving. That is something additional as well. Team, keep letting me know if my voice breaks. Naresh, did you have something to add? Or Chaitanya?
Yeah, yeah, it is like what
Yes.
she said. It is a cloud platform, so there will be like a list of business rules already developed. Where instead of we developing, we can just use them.
Mm-hmm.
So it will reduce the pain. So we no need to like build the infrastructure. So it is already built. So we just need to use them.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone else? Chaitanya, did you want to have something?
Hi
Thank you,
Karthik.
Naresh.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear
I
me,
can.
Karthik? Okay. So Salesforce application can also be
I
used for
can. I'm sorry, it takes my.
Salesforce application can also be used for ticketing. Like any application can be linked to Salesforce, and if the end users have any issues, they can raise a ticket, and that will come and fall under Salesforce.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you, Chaitanya.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that has become one of the most popular reasons why this has become the reasons why this tool has become so popular in the marketing. It's been there for a long time. I don't know why it's not loading. But if I go to login.salesforce.com, that's where you have, I think my login would have expired. It was a 14 days free trial. Let me check. We may all have to create team. Don't create your logins yet. Okay. I'm gonna maybe a day or two we will get there. But why is it taking so long? Okay, let me keep this here on the screen. Ah, my audio. Thank you. So team, basically what we want to do, I know it's taking time for this app to load. Maybe it's a network issue, but there's a lot we can do straight away here. So I want to talk about some stories. And these are basically how a user navigates through the application. And to write a story, we call this more like a user story and so on. We just details. I will say AUT link. Okay. What browser am I going to be looking at on? What is the story name for it? Then I'll write detailed steps for it. Then I'll write expected output. Oopsie. And then I'll write actual output and so on. Now, it's not necessarily a very formal use case team or a user story. Basically says that every requirement that the client had given to us has to be rightly tested by us at the end. And we need to test it the way it is designed to be done. So there are certain steps that we want to follow for it so that there is a clarity, the uniformity across a large team to work together. So we are all doing it similar. So when we look at, when I look at your user case, use case or user story or storyboard, it looks almost the same as mine. So I can always put this into a table, like maybe insert a table. I'll need 2 columns, maybe about 9 rows. So let me see if I can put this as is here. No. Okay, let me write it again. So AUT, I want to talk about where is it that we want to test this application, and I get the URL, I'm going to put it here. There may be a lot more on the right side as content than the left. So I'm going to shorten this. Browser, and I'm going to say this is Chrome, but it wouldn't hurt for me to maybe find the version number of it and say what is it. So I go to help and say about Google Chrome and see that this is version 86. Okay, and I'll say version 86.0. All right, story name. Now for every story, I want to give a name to it. A name can be like a phrase or a statement and so on, but it is better to write it a little bit more formally so it can be tracked as well. So I'll say UC underscore Salesforce underscore login underscore 1. Okay, that's the story name. Now, what are specific process? One, I open AUT and then I enter uname password. And so I will also talk about how a BDD and ATDD comes team, where we say there's a given and actual and expected and so on. But I'm writing in a very simple steps that make sense to anyone at the moment. Okay, enter username and password and then verify error message for incorrect data. Now, these are the specific things I'm putting. Now, expected is things. One is logo. I'm expecting to see username fields. Sorry, not username, user labels and fields, and I'll talk about a lot of this. I also the title of the page, and then I want the message specific thing that we're doing, and giving uname as let's give something crazy at percast.com and user part is something something something. All right, then there is an actual. Actual is going to be our observations now, T. Okay, so let's go to this application, and I'm going to say that when I logged in the first time, the logo was missing. So my observation, I'll say logo was missing. How can I show it that the logo was missing? I can take a screenshot of it. And I'll say that, okay, this is what I did. And I don't see that logo. Let us say here, it is missing. And I just take that and paste it here, team, as a screenshot. and I resized it. So now we are kind of a bit more with impact for the user, end user, to be able to see, okay, what is it that we actually did? And let us say error message was different. Now, what can the error message be? I write something here and I change the password and I say login. So this is what you're getting. Okay. Yeah, logo was missing is like image not found and so on. And what about the other one that we had? User labels and fields. So here I see username is there, password is there. So login is there, remember me is there. Forgot password, use custom domain, not a customer, try for free. So everything is there. So I'm good with that part of it. Okay. So I'll say label and fields are right. Documenting our observations team. That is what we are doing. And we use the same username or password, we'll say. Okay. So now become the actual observation. Now, when we talk about such things, team, we are creating an overall book and say there are certain things that we done based on above reporting. What would happen next? Team. Okay. Yes. There.
And let's continue. Sorry about that audio issue, team. Hopefully it's better now. So based on above reporting, what are the actions one would take, team? So why did we create the story or use case document called UCSF login 1? Will it be used only one time when the first time that version of that application is coming? Or will it be used consistently in the future also? Everyone, are you listening to me? It will keep getting used continuously because the same story has to repeat. Tomorrow, if there's something changing, we will say, okay, please check your username. Now that is a change in the requirement. And accordingly, we will test it. So there is always a good referral point for us to go back and see how and what we need to do. Okay. Now, based on above reporting, what do you do? What happens next, team? You're a QA engineer. You've gone through a user story and you have noticed certain things. What do? You raise a defect or open a ticket and talk about what you can do next. And then what do we do? Fix the defect or bug. Who does this? Development team. Who does this? QA team. And then what will happen? Retest exactly by the QA just to confirm if the development team have done it correctly. And finally, we will launch or deploy. Excellent, team. So now see what all that we are doing is moving from just a 4-line, 5-line process. We are trying to make it a little bit more concrete. And when we are especially doing manually, we put a lot of detailed screenshots because we want a visually testing things. We do it with our eyes and keyboard, mouse, sometimes with our ears. So there's a lot that the user will be doing, and that is important, team. How you document everything slowly, one after the other. Now, all of this is something we can also write in an Excel sheet. And I'll tell you the importance of an Excel sheet, team. But let's do something simple for the same one in an Excel file. So I'll not do it in an Excel file. I'll use spreadsheets from Google Drive. So out here, I'll just create a new Google Sheet, and I'll call this as someone's hand is raised. Do you have a question for me, Neha? I'm assuming no question. I'll put your hand down here. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. All right, test case. Now, when I say test case, team, every test case I want to give a test case ID. Just like a use case ID, you can call it that too. Now, can someone tell me, based on this document that we created, where is this out here? What are the different tests that we need to do? Is there only one test, or can there be more than one test? So what happens? What is the difference between an overall user story scenario versus a test case? Can someone explain on that? Chaitanya, you had something, you had your hand raised. Okay, maybe not. So what is the major difference? A user story or scenario is a larger objective. It gives a larger objective or picture of the overall thing. Versus a test case is something very precise. It has a very nice start and end to it. And we have specific things that we will do as part of a test case. Okay. And so when you look at this, I can divide this into three things, maybe. One, I will check for the UI and labels, I'll say. Okay. UI field and label. Next, I will check for login with incorrect details. What else can I check? Third test case. I don't think I have anything yet. So, but at least I have two test cases. So back to my test case ID. Then I'll write a description for it. And then for every test case ID, there would be steps T. Okay. So there'll be a step number that we can use for it and say step description. And then what happens is basically we're going to talk about expected, actual, and then result. If they're the same, your result is a pass. Else, it's a fail. And if it's a failure, you can maybe give more error detail. Now, this becomes a consistent input template, everyone. So we kind of retain something that we will keep reusing. And those are templates for us. All right. So I'm going to make sure that the first row is frozen there. So even if I scroll, nothing will happen. So I have test case 1. So I'll write this as, say I can write it as 1. I can write it as TC1. But if I write it as TC1, then 11 will come, 111 will come. So the ordering or the shape may not be better. So I prefer to write TC001. But I know it's a use test case, but I want to write which application. So I'll say SF underscore user management, I'll say. underscore CC001. So see, I'm trying to be very elaborate and short at the same time, and using underscores, a little bit of camel case to be able to put good data into it. Making sense? Then we want to talk about the description of it itself. So what are we saying about this test case? This is about to make sure title, images, fields. That's what we're checking. So what is the first step here, team? We basically open the application under test to check title, 3, check field, 4, and I'm saying check title, check field. Title is only one, but fields may be many. So we will look into this. Check images. So what we considered to be extremely simple at the beginning will now, just as one test case of login and so on, is getting more and more deeper and seems to be getting larger also, and it will be. Now open AUT, which, what is this expected? There's no spelling correction. When we say open AUT, which URL, which browser, who's going to give the details? There should be some details that has to be given, correct? So who's going to provide the details? Where would that important information come from? So there is information that we need to provide. Where and how can we provide such information, team? Anyone? I only got 4 answers so far. What are we missing? Client will provide. No, client will say, boss, you own the application, you're developing, you know what to do. What are you asking me about? Client will give you, URL they'll give you. Then username, password they'll give you. Everything they have to give you. No, they don't give everything. We create our own environments and test based on what they have. We do the hosting, we do the deployments. We're the IT team, correct? It is test data, everyone. One of the most important things that has to be prepared by the tester. No one else is going to help you there. And smarter people are using automation tools to help them prepare the test data. So your test data becomes important. So I'll write the URL here, which is the actual URL of the application. When is that? And I'm just putting a couple of things in the same. Then I'll say Chrome 89, was it? That's the detail. Check title. What is the title of this application, anyone? Can you type the exact title of this application by looking at this, what the screen itself? Can you type it in the chat? So incorrect. Some of you, so incorrect with what you're writing. That is not the title of this web page, guys. Login.salesforce.com is the URL. It is not the web page title. Salesforce website is incorrect. Salesforce incorrect. Salesforce incorrect. Login page incorrect. No title incorrect. Thank you, Sahana, but you made an error in it. Alemu, you're close. Nazima, you're right. Start your free trial incorrect. Suma, yeah, getting there, Sahana, you're right now. All right. The title of the page is the one that you see on the top, team. This is the title. If you right click on this or any application and say view page source, what do you see? This is a web application. What would you see, team? What kind of a file will show up? a HTML file. Where did it go? Okay, this is the HTML file that has all the details of the look and feel, the style, the content, the functionality of this application. So this contains the complete details, team. So here, when you look at in out here, you can actually search for Control F and say title. And do you notice here, everyone? Let me resize this. Title, login, space, vertical bar, space, Salesforce. That is the title of the web page. Okay. If you take your mouse over it also, it will be the same. Now, let me open up another application. So I'll go to neon.com/x. Can you tell me the title of this, everyone? What is this? It's not about the application. It isn't just my website. What happened to this? Oh, sorry. /upper X. Okay. Now, do you see the title here? Can anyone tell me what is the title of this page? Login Aut. That's the title. Okay. And so it has to be exactly the same thing. Space, vertical bar, space, Aut. A cap again. So don't make those mistakes, team. Spell errors, upper, lower case are very critical. Keep a focus on them from now on. I will keep reminding you on that a lot. So that becomes my title. Let me put that. Double click, go to the side, put it in. Okay. Check fields. Now, see, we're going into the next one. All right, let's go. What fields do I want to check out here? Username is there, password is there. Okay, remember me. So I'm putting those details, team. All this becomes critical because a lot of times, password, remember me. And check images, logo. That's the only one that is there. Now, this became a test case. Similarly, I'm going to write one more test case, everyone. Maybe this adds a few steps. So here, I'm going to talk about login incorrect. So it would have some steps as well, correct, everyone? Let's see if this will increase it. No, it doesn't. So I'll set this equal this +1. Copy this and paste it all across. So give me oopsie. Control C. Control V. There we go. So login incorrect. That's a new test case. So see how we are writing down in detail what each has to do. This is a templatization team. How we slowly go about creating templates. Now, whatever we are doing out here, there's certain things that we will do in a tool that I'm going to show you right now after this. So, can you all fill in the details for login incorrect? What could be the steps? Test data, expected. So expected here, what did we want? Actually, this is the expected. This is what we expected. There's no test data that we're giving here. Okay. Even here, there's nothing we are seeing. This is expected actually. Control C, Control V, delete this, check images. This is expected. Here is the only thing. Now, open AUT will be there. Then enter username, enter password, click login, verify error message, and log out, close browser. Are this correct, everyone? Did I write the right steps? Did I write the right steps? Where did I make a mistake in this? Very nice catch. Smart. Did I make a mistake in any of the steps? Test case. Oh yeah, so you're right. I also didn't change this to test case. To very nice. A good catch. See how many mistakes we are bound to make as humans when we go with a specific speed and flow. Check to enter incorrect username. So here we will write. I'll say this is blah blah at podcast.com. Okay. Enter password. This is the password. So HTTPS. So the same will go here. Right click and paste special, paste values only. What is missing, team? Ramya, you're right. Suma, you're right. You're right, Nazima. So there's no logout, correct? Why there's no logout? Because we never logged in to be able to log out. So that can't be a step. So let's try that through. Now that becomes something that is important. Now these are things that we go about doing regularly. If I do it on a Google Drive and share with you and ask you all to fill, and that's one way to collaborate, are there any better ways to collaborate? One of the tools that I wanted to show you was JIRA. Okay, so what does JIRA do? Why we need it? How are we going to use it? Let's see. There's a lot I think we can learn by just working on JIRA for a day or two to get a feel of it. So JIRA for collaboration, documentation, Agile, and our Scrum Kanban projects. And we will talk about these now. Okay. So anyone know what is JIRA? Do you want to speak about it, please? What do you think JIRA is? It's been popular for a long time. I would love to know what do you think, please. Yes, Shanti?
Yes, Kathy. It's like a test management tool, like where we can store our requirements and where we can attach our test results.
Okay.
That is on high level, like, yeah. And we can store our test results as well.
Mm-hmm.
And developers also will attach with their like unit test results over there. And
Okay.
we'll have all the information related to the requirements.
Nice.
Yeah, and it will show how many story points like estimated for that particular card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all. Like, yeah,
Very good.
thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Shanti? Chaitanya?
Hi, Karthik, can you hear me?
Yes.
So it can also be used as a traceability matrix.
Okay. Nice.
And that can also be linked to Quality Center if that is another tool that QA will be using.
You're saying QC or ALM?
Yep. Yes. That is all is coming into my mind.
Sure.
And the another one is like we can link all the stories that are going for that particular sprint, and that will be also displayed under release in the JIRA.
Mm. Nice. So, fantastic. Thank you so much. Lata?
Hi, Kathy. It is also known as Scrum board, basically. We can have all the backlogs.
Yeah.
Assign the task, like assigning the task to the team. And it's a reporting tool too.
Yeah. Nice. Shiza?
Yes, Karthik, my question is that I used ALM in the past, HP ALM, but I haven't used JIRA. So what's the difference between JIRA and ALM?
Let's discover. I think we're trying to look into that. There's a lot of differences, but JIRA is got a lot of things specifically related to it on a cloud, like you're seeing here. Quality Center and ALM has been more associated with testing projects than anything else. But when we talk about JIRA, it is across all the roles in an IT team. So for every member of the IT team. So we will explore on that. Okay. Did I not hear from anyone else? Thank you, team. That was very nice to hear that. And perfect. There's a lot that this tool can do. Let's look at some of the basic things and what we can work with and how we can play around team. This is one of the more important tools. Even in today's world, we are being asked about it. So let us make sure we know about it, team. So not here, I'm going to put it somewhere here. One. All right. Where did I put it? There you go. So team, Atlassian is the company. It's got a lot of tools that even I have used over a period of time. I worked on tools like JIRA. I don't know how many of you used Confluence. I actively use Trello for project task management, reporting and all that for a while. I worked on Bitbucket. I've seen Bamboo in action. I did not put my own hands to it. And of course, the JIRA itself. So there's a lot it will do. I want us to take some baby steps and explore on this. But it's very interesting, team, that what it can do. And I want you to keep an access to the content that we do in JIRA and keep working on it through the end of the training. All right. Especially on project management and how it works overall on projects. So it's not just issue tracking. It tracks the overall project. And then when we find an issue, it's a great one with that we can do a traceability back to the source of it, maintain a traceability metrics too. All right. So now to JIRA. I think they talk a lot about this. Here is the board concept, backlog, board, reports, releases. I think we'll look at some of these features. Their UI is constantly changing. It's evolved a lot over the period of time. Let's see how it looks now. Issues and how we can classify defects under them and work with them. Okay, so that's there. So I think we're talking about releases and reports here. A few more, but there's one that I saw on features. There you go. I don't know if I still have a valid account, team. I'll try and log in. Scrum boards. Okay. So Scrum boards and Kanban boards, team. So these are the two ones that we use nicely for project management, estimation, tracking, reporting, and so on. We talk about a concept called buckets. Okay. Buckets and how it moves. Now, let me show you and relate you with this process. Okay, here they're using 4 buckets. Okay, this is called to do. They're talking about to do activities, and there are 3 items in it, or 3 things that they're working on actively. So this is one such bucket with individual tasks. Each of them is a unique job or activity by itself. It could be an issue, it could be a requirement, it could be an enhancement, it could be any of a few categories. When it is still not assigned to a specific user, or no user has taken it and starting to work, it will stay in the to-do bucket. Once a user picks it, it goes and moves to the next bucket. So when I visually look at it, I'll see, oh, I have 3 still pending, but 3 are in progress. That is good. And then the ones from progress go into review. What does in review mean, team? Someone is going to sit down and make sure that whatever has been done is right. Could be a BA developer doing unit testing, peer testing, or actual testing by QA teams as well, right? And then finally, we put it into done, where a specific card or a ticket has been closed. So how we manage to move each of these cards. So each one is one card. You open it, you will see more details of it. Details of who it is assigned, previous chat history, comments made on it, files, screenshots, any other documents associated with it. Okay, so let's go in team. Let's take a deep dive. I'll see if I can log in. Let me see if I have this. Oh, they're creating an account for me. That's fine. Let them create. And I want you also to create team. You will join specific teams. Okay. So we will have a team that we will create, and maybe some of us we can put and use this as we want. So when you're working in your project along with your group members, you may want to be able to work on this, everyone. Okay, JIRA software try, Confluence, service management, like ticketing and so on, I guess. Bitbucket, GitLab, GitHub are all about how we do source code, version control management, collaboration. Status page, I don't know, but let's go to JIRA software. And try, get it free. Okay, I think I got it free. Okay, supports up to 10 users or 3 agents, cloud products. Okay, select a second product now. I'm okay for this right now. No card required, so that's a good thing for users to try. Claim your site. Oh, wow. This is to try team. Tomorrow I want to put it more into an IT learn one. There should already be an IT learn. Let me see if it's there. I remember it was already there. Maybe Go IT Learn is not there. So I'll take that, agree to it. And that is not my work email, but that's okay. Now this account, if you notice the previous screen, it is free for up to 10 users. So I can have 10 of you collaborate with me on this. So why am I using JIRA for? What am I using it for? Software development. And look, QA manager or QA engineer. So it's trying to collect more of a profile data. I don't know if it does any customization to the layout itself, but let's see. Will you all be able to create your own simple free accounts on JIRA? I may add you to the project. I will take up a premium account and I can add you all then. All right. Invite your teammates. I want to do this later. Can I get 3 or 4 of yours, please? Emails. Who wants to get invited to this? Thank you, Soumya. Got yours. I'm just going by the first come first, everyone. Interesting. Okay. Team, I got it. Team, I got a few. Thank you all. There's so many. I appreciate. I'll guarantee add you all, but now I'm just taking 3 of it. just to see how things work, and I will add most of you later. All right, that was the last one. Continue. And I'm new to JIRA. My team is new to Agile methodology. So it's going to teach us a lot on Agile methodologies team. So if you tell in an interview that you've been working on JIRA and a lot of Agile-based concept that you learned is also through this application, it's good because it's a nice platform designed around it. My team is new to Agile methodology. We spend our time working on features, support operations, or fixing bugs. We don't fix bugs. We're not into support or operations. We are into testing, but features, that's fine. This is nice, right? The way they're trying to collect information. We have a tight schedule to finish our work, or flexible. We have a tight schedule. Next. All right. Choose the next gen template. I'll go with the Scrum model team. Then we'll also look at a Kanban. All right. If you already have a different Scrum board or Scrum project from other things, then you can move them here. So I'm going to use this. So we'll talk about this in this. So there's a project that we're creating. So I'll just say November SDET key. NOV. What is key? I think what I shared with others. The project key is used as a prefix. Okay, nice. November. So see, like I was saying, how we do our naming convention and so on, there's the same thing that they're trying to promote. Let's give a project key to it. So everything starts with that name. Scrum. So tell me more. Project goes to the modern mode. Change template. So we'll just create based on what it is. Team, we just have 3-4 minutes today. We're going to continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we will not have a assignment or practice because we've not done much of training yet. We will do it on Friday. So tomorrow day after we'll have trainings. The old issue view is going away. Remind me later. Oh, we have some time. So we have to look at this old issue view team. Some of these are there. So we'll look into it. Very nice. So here we are on JIRA. And team, a lot of applications that we'll explore. So please be ready for it. I've told you I do not send video links, Umesh. I told you this earlier also. And I'm telling you this again. Go and subscribe to the YouTube. Go to go.it and you'll get them. I don't send them. Is that clear? And please don't disturb me during live trainings about those things yet. We'll come to it towards the end. A little patience on that, everyone. Thank you. Okay, where are we, team? Let's continue tomorrow, but we have got a few things and we are on the board. So, to do, in progress, done. What is this plus? I can add one more category or a column and I can move them if I'm not wrong. So, I have a to do, in progress, then I'll say QA review, and then we will say done. So those are the 4 stages or buckets through which any task moves. So I put this here, and that is done. Now, here you haven't started what we call as a sprint. A sprint is a cycle team of what we need to do. Okay, so I go to something called as backlog, and we start with what needs to be done. So let us say this is my backlog. And it is put that. Then I have one more backlog. Backlog of task or activity. Done. Now let's go to our roadmap is the first one. Let's go to our boards team. We don't need this right now. Let's go back to the board. So here, what you can't do anything on your board because you haven't started a sprint yet. I did. create. So create either an issue, story, bug, and so on, and epic. This is to create specific ones. But where is my sprint? Team, any questions? We're almost close to the end of it. There you go. I see create sprint now. Couldn't see it earlier. All right. So backlog here. So I'll create sprint. Okay. 1 moving into this, 2 moving into this. So we call this as November sprint 1. In this, there are 2 specific scenarios. Okay. And I say start my sprint. So when I say start sprint team, it's very important. It is going to start talking about the timing. It's going to take today's date and time when the sprint cycle started, and we put an end date to it. Okay. Nazima's Kanban, Scrum board differences we'll explore later, please. Focus on what all they can do as of now. Once you know what one thing does well, then you can compare it with others. So let's come back to that. So here I'm saying that it's a 1 week sprint or a 2 week sprint. So it should be able to pick the dates accordingly of when we think this will end. Or you can put your custom dates and that's fine. Let's say it's a 1 week sprint. Sprint goal is to test using the specified scenario. And just start. So now in the sprint, there are 2 things that we have to do. All right, everyone? And we have certain time to do it. So there are 4 days remaining. Can you tell me why there are 4 days when we gave it 1 week? Can you think, team, why it must have given 4 days? Because as a setup, I don't think it is calculating or counting weekends. That's correct. 5 days of weekdays. So this is the first day. So there are 4 more days left. Exactly. So let's close this one. Now, each of this, there's nothing in this that I've done. Once you click on it, is where what a beginner. I think still it's challenging times with the COVID situations, team. So, all right. So here what we're going to do, whatever we're talking about in an Excel or a spreadsheet, we can attach it, or I can write them here and say, you know what, this is what we're planning to do. Pasted it and all set. So what I have not done yet on this, and we'll talk team tomorrow, is how I can assign this to different users who have joined the team, how they can pick up this and start working with it. So now I've added some content to it, correct? Added test steps, I'll say. That's my comment and saved it. So this is done. So now I've started this, correct team? So I'm going to move this to in progress. Now, once tomorrow someone comes in and maybe helps me to actually execute it, okay, and then confirm, we can move it to next cycles and next cycles and so on. All right, team, took a little longer today. Let's connect tomorrow, everyone. Any final questions, team? You're looking for Atlassian or just search for JIRA, everyone. JIRA. Just search JIRA, you'll get it. Google it. Okay, it's going to be very interesting. And please do remember one thing. To go detailed into JIRA and get a full in-depth idea will take us a good 1.5 week, team. So what we want to do in an hour is to be able to get the gist of what it is doing and maybe hopefully keep using it through the training. Right now, I can only add 3 or 4 people. I can show with it how we're working together. If you're using it more, I'll take a paid. You can try the free trial team. You can go ahead actually. Absolutely. Don't have to wait. You start it so that you can all start with a free trial, almost do what I'm doing. Just look at the documentation or watch the video team and try and replicate the same. Okay. I will add, okay. So I think if we have 5 people, that is enough to show how JIRA works in a team, and that should be enough. I don't think I need to add all the 50+ members into it to show what is happening. But you all as a team can create your own separate 7-member group and put a JIRA team on it. I'll guide you. I have not sent the Skype group yet, team, because I don't have the confirmed members list yet. And yes, I know some of you are waiting for the pricing details. I'll have that sent. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow, same time. Bye now. Take care. Really appreciate you joining. Bye.